Hola, me llamo Celia.
你好，我是 Sharon.
Hoy invitamos a Sharon a mi canal. Ella es de Ecuador. Bueno, eso es todo para mi español.
¡Empecemos!
Okay, Sharon, the first question I want to ask you is about Ecuador, this country, because I never met any student from Ecuador. It is popular in Ecuador for students to study abroad.
Lately, students tend to go abroad now from Ecuador, especially because now our government also has a scholarship program in which students can go abroad studying any country they want. They study for a certain amount of years, let's say an undergrad for 4 years, and then the plan is that you have to go back to Ecuador to put in practice whatever you learned in your undergrad, for example, and then you have to work double the years you studied abroad, back in Ecuador in work experience. That's how you repay. So I can say that here in Manchester City I have seen a minimum of 30 people from Ecuador. I know there's many more, but as far as I have met them, they are here studying their undergrad with this government scholarship, and I have seen lots of Ecuadorian people, which is very nice for me, and they make me feel home. But also it's kind of difficult for us to come to UK, mostly because also it's very expensive as well for us, as my currency back home is dollar.
Dollar? You mean like US dollar?
Yeah, like the US dollar. So in Ecuador we have this currency, and if you do the exchange rate to the pound, it's kind of expensive to study here in the UK, mostly if it's more than a year and stuff like that. But also our culture is kind of traditional, and you can imagine that grandparents not an easy thing to let young people to go abroad and experience, just because our culture is still a little traditional in a way. But I can say, as I told you, nowadays families are looking at the traveling to study as an opportunity to grow and to learn from not only cultures but also get another understanding of the studies as well, and the content is kind of different. And
is this the first time you study abroad, or you already have some study abroad experience before?
Yeah. Well, as a person, I love going abroad, even if it's to travel or to study. My kind of like first alone experience studying or like living abroad was in 2011. When I was 17 years old, I did an internship in Canada for the summer. I did a marketing related internship there in Canada, so it was very good for me as well to know what I wanted to do in the future. And then my next international experience was when I did an exchange semester for my undergrad, my 6th semester. I did it in Los Angeles, California, in Pitzer College. That is a very nice university. I stayed there for about 5 months. And the next one, which was the longest experience as well abroad, was this one.
No.
Yeah, this journey that I decided to do was doing my master's in the UK, and I don't regret it at all, and I love this experience. It's been hard and challenging because being away for such a long time, it's always a challenge, and part of going abroad is the things that you learn. And also, I've heard this phrase many times, the person that leaves is never the person that comes back. So it's just a process of changing, of growing and learning so many things that I love it. And I love to go abroad because the adapting process, even if it's hard at the beginning, but then it works it a lot.
And also I feel like study abroad or work abroad can inspire you somehow, because you just keep meeting new culture and meeting obstacle, even though it's bad to like meet obstacle, but it still can help you to grow up, become a more mature people.
Exactly, yes. You change a lot, but in a good way. And as you say, you become more mature, more aware of what you had and what you have and what you want.
Okay, the next question I want to ask is, are you in a relationship right now? Because I saw the picture on your phone. It's featured. Is he from Ecuador or?
No, my boyfriend is not from Ecuador. My boyfriend is from Germany. We've been together a little more than 3 years, and we are having a long distance. Well, we had a long distance relationship for around 2 years and a half.
2 years and a half.
2 years and a half.
But wait, he's from Germany. But how you met each other?
So I met him 4 years ago when I did my exchange semester in Los Angeles, the one that I talked about. I did my 6th semester of my undergrad in Los Angeles, and he also went abroad for his 2nd semester of the master's studies. So having friends in common, we met. The typical thing at the beginning, we didn't get along very well. We were like, oh my god,
Wait,
the new person. Because even culture the German guys are very serious and they don't show much emotion. So first thing that happened when I met him was like everybody said hi to the new guy and he was like, yeah, hi. I was like, oh, he's me.
Yeah, because in South America, people are very passionate and very outgoing.
We are expressive, outgoing, even passionate, as you say. But yeah, exactly. So the first thing that happened was like,
he's so cold.
Yeah, he's so cold. But I guess that after a while, we started to talk a bit more, and like we got along very well, and we had such a good chemistry, and then we started talking, and that's how we started the relationship. Yeah.
Do you found like any difference between like people in Ecuador, and especially when you are in relationship with a different nationality people? Do you feel any culture shock?
For example, he's very punctual and I am no punctual at all.
Like, you're very punctual.
Yeah, but
very organized.
Yeah, exactly. I learned how to be punctual because even with our first date, he told me I'll pick you up at 9. I was walking to the street where he was picking me up at 9:15. At 9:05. And he already told me that I was way too late, and I was like, but it's just 5 minutes. I know.
It's okay.
So, these kind of differences, and also I have a very traditional culture back home. For us, for example, knowing the parents of the guy that's dating you, or even knowing the guy that's dating you, is very important for us as a culture, and even for parents. In Ecuador, they really want to know who's the guy that's dating my daughter, you know? So, and I know that in the German culture, and even in European cultures, knowing the parents is not something that you do on the first date. Probably
usually it's like 6 months or something.
Yeah, or whenever you know that the relationship is more serious. We met in around February of 2016, and then he went back to his country. I went back to my country after the semester, and then he visited Ecuador for the first time in September of that year. And it was the first time he came to Ecuador. He didn't know about the country, he didn't know my family, but he got to know my family so soon in our relationship because he came to visit me the same year we met. For him was also a big shock, and I would say that's a topic for another video because it was a huge shock
story.
Exactly, it's a new story, but I can tell you small things about it. We are very traditional culture. So for example, when he visited me, he stayed at my house and he had to know every single member of my family. And you know that in Ecuador, families are 50 members, 40 members. So that's another difference. That for them, the families are not that big, but in my case, it's big, and we are very like kind and approachable people. And like whenever there's not someone new, you just tend to approach and ask lots of questions and those things, which he was like, okay. I mean, he coped with it very well. I can say he had to do it. He did it very well. But those are the kind of cultural differences that we had. And also because in Ecuador we say hi kissing on the cheek time.
But Germany,
and you know in Germany there's like the distance. So first thing that I told him when he was going to visit me for the first time was, be aware that people's going to say hi to you with a kiss on the cheek and a hug or something. Even if it's, I mean, with the guys of course it's the hand, but with girls it's for sure the kiss on the cheek. So my mom, when we went to pick him up from the airport, the first thing she did was like, hey! And she went to kiss him, and he was like, okay. He knew it because I told him. But of course, it was the first time, and it was kind of a shock. But yeah. So in that part, there are kind of like cultural differences, but also he's also very open-minded and very tolerant to like knowing my culture, and he wants to know about my culture, and he did it very well. Like there were many things I was like, okay, but we did it very well. And also the first time that I met his family was when I came to the UK, because before coming to the UK to study, I visited him for like a month, I would say, and also that was my first time knowing the family. So for me as well was, you know, I don't know what to expect, but also I can say that his families are very, very nice people, and even if there's this stereotype that German people are very cold, but his family is very sweet. They gave me a very nice welcome. They love hugs as well as much as I do. Also, I can tell you that stereotypes about German people being cold and straightforward and stuff like that, I guess it depends. It depends because, as I tell you, his family is like very loving and very sweet, very kind people. And even him, he's kind of like serious and not like that romantic in a sense. I mean, not the way in which I would do it as being Latin American, but he is very romantic in his way. So he would show even the romantic stuff by actions, by like coming to see me abroad from Germany to Ecuador every single 6 months, and doing that for me showed that he cared about me and our relationship. Yeah. So guys from Germany, they can be romantic and sweet.
Bueno, muchas gracias por ver mi video. Si te gusta este video, dale un me gusta y suscríbete a mi canal.
那我们就下一集再见啦。